Hello, this is Miss Moreland. Welcome to 8.4 Day 2. This is sort of an optional video. If you've mastered the other method and don't want to throw anything else into the mix, then I would not watch this. But if you want to learn another method to factor that may be a little faster for some of you, if you're good at the other method, then I would give this video a try. So we're still factoring with a not equal to 1. Going from standard form to factored form. So you're going to notice a lot of similar problems here. We're going to do it a different method. So before we drew our x and we said we're going to multiply to 10, add to 11. We're going to ditch that out the window today and we're just going to do it by guessing and checking. So you first look at your first term and you say 2x squared. To get 2x squared, I need to multiply a 2x and an x. You look at your last term next and you say, okay, the options are 5 times 1 and that's it for 5. So you could put the 5 here and the 1 here. You would multiply these two together and get 5x. And you would multiply these two together when you're foiling and get 2x. Check and see, does that add to your middle term of 11x? And the answer is no, so that guess was wrong, so you just switch them. So I'm now going to put the 1 here and the 5 here and check what that gives me. When I multiply the inner 2, I get 1x. When I multiply the outer 2, I get 10x. That now adds to 11. They both need to be positive because I want a positive 1x and a positive 10x. And that would give me my answer. All right, we're going to try a couple more here. So your first step is to always set it up with your parentheses. So you're going to need a 2x and an x to get your 2x squared. And then 15 has the option of 1 and 15. Or 5 times 3. Now 5 times 3 looks like a better option for me. So I'm going to put the 3 here and the 5 here. And then check, that's a 3x. That is 10x. That adds to 13. I want a positive 3x and a positive 10x. So both of my factors need to be positive. All right, let's try one more with a positive. If you're getting the hang of this, why don't you try this one on your own? If not, follow one more example. So always set it up with your two parentheses. And look, 2x squared, so I need a 2x and an x. 3 is nice because it really only has 1 and 3, so I'm going to put the 1 here, 3 here. Now that's just a complete guess. If you switched it around, you just have to check. So in the middle, I get 1x. The outer I get 6x, and look at that, that adds to 7x. They both need to be positive. So I make positives in between, and I've got my answer. They get a little bit more difficult when you add negatives in, but that's all right. You can still do it, so set up your parentheses. To get a 2x squared, we've done this one a lot, you get 2x and x, that's your only option. And what's nice is 5 and 1. 5 really only has 5 and 1, so you're really going to need to do two guesses. So you got 5 and 1 here, and just check. That's a 5x, and that's a 2x. Now that adds to a positive 7 right now. If I wanted to add to a negative but multiply to a positive, I need both of my factors to be negative. So I need a negative 5 and a negative 1 in my answer. Right, so pause the video and try the next one on your own. If I can get this to close, or we'll just drag it down. Alright, so if I'm going to guess, I have to set it up. Now what's nice about this is when you're trying to multiply to a positive and add to a negative, you already know that both of your factors need to be negative. So I have a 2x and an x, and I know that my factors are going to need to be negative because the only way to multiply to a positive is 2 positives or 2 negatives. Now 6 has quite a few options. I have 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. I'm going to start with the 2 and 3 and just put it where I think, 2 here, 3 here. That's just a complete guess. So I check 2x and 6x. That does not add to 7x in any way, shape, or form, so it was a bad guess. Erase. First thing I would do is switch the 2 and the 3. So I'm going to put the 3 here now and the 2 here and check. I get 3x. And 4x. That adds to a positive. No, we know that they both need to be made negative, so I have negative signs in my answer, and I factored that one. Right, next one, this one is the last term is negative, which just means one factor needs to be negative. So I'm going to do it just like I have been. Set up your parentheses. Now 4x is a little tricky because you can have 2x and 2x or 4x and 1, so that's why this method becomes messy. So I'm going to start with 4x and 1x, and 5 only has the option of 1 and 5. I'm going to put the 5 here and the 1 here just because. Now once you get good at these, you can sometimes see what's going to work and what's not. So that's a 5x, and that's a 4x, and I can quickly see that that's not going to be able to add to 19. So first thing you do, switch them. So I'm going to put the 1 here and the 5 here. That gives me a 1x and a 20x. Now that's going to add to 19 somehow if I make one of them negative. Notice I want to add to a positive, so the x, the smaller one, needs to be negative. So this 1 needs to be negative and the 5 needs to be made positive. Right, pause the video and try the next one on your own. Come on. I lost my mouse. Oh. We'll just scroll it down. Alright, so you should have been guessing with your parentheses. So 2 sets of parentheses. Now this one's nice because 3x squared is just 3x and x. I want to multiply to a -8, so those are 1 and 8 or 2 and 4. I'm going to start with 2 and 4. I generally start with those ones. 1 and 8, the ones that go with 1 are less common, but they still work. So 2x and 12x. There's no way a 2x and a 12x can add to a 2, so that didn't work. So first thing, switch them. So I'm going to put the 4 here and the 2 here. So I just switched them around. That gives me a 4x and a 6x. That's going to add to, that's a 4x, excuse me. That's going to add to a positive 2 if I make the smaller one negative. So that means the 4 needs to be negative to get my negative 4x. And the 2 needs to be positive to get my positive 6x. Alright, we have 2 left here. Okay, I'm going to have you pause it and try it on your own. If you've gotten the hang of it, I would just do them on your own and then see if you got them right by fast forwarding through the video. So I got 5x and x. 6 is 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. I'm going to try 2 and 3 just because I generally try that first. So that gives me a 2x and a 15x. Now that could add to -13 if I make one of my factors negative. In this case I want to add to a negative, so the bigger number needs to be negative. So the -15 is connected with this 3, which means the 2 needs to be positive to get me that positive 2x. Alright, last one. This one looks like it's nice to finish off. 2x squared is always going to be 2x and x. 15 again is 1 and 15, and 3 and 5. I start with the 3 and 5. I don't usually start with the 1s. So it gives me 3x and 10x. I've been doing some good guesses here because 3x and 10x will get me a 7x if I make one of them negative. Notice I want to add to a -7, so I make the bigger one negative. That's connected with the 5. The 3 needs to stay positive, and that would be my final answer. So if you've done this video, oops, I flipped to something. I think I went to a new lesson, and I don't want that one either. If you've done the video, try the on your own, and then look for the next video.